for anyone who's looking for a job. Coming from an HR professional, after hiring many people and being on the other side of the table, I can tell you what matters the most. I don't hire for skills, I hire for people. And I can tell who a candidate is from before even meeting them, right through their resume. I read in between the lines. I read for detail, I read for passion, I look for traits, and I either feel the energy or I don't. And let me tell you a very big secret. It takes 6 seconds for you to make an impression on whomever has your resume in their hand. Make sure to check the link below because I've created a free downloadable guide for you with the main points you need to ace your job application process. Let's get right into it. You may think that the job application process starts with your resume, but it actually doesn't. It starts with the job description. You need to read the job description line by line. And when I say that, I don't mean look at the salary and the compensation and the perks that the organization offers. I mean look at their mission, look at their values, look at their culture, and ask yourself this question genuinely. Do I see myself aligning with this company? Do I see myself aligning with their values? And if the answer is no, don't apply. It's not about luck. If you truly don't align, it will show on your resume or in your interview, or even worse, when you actually get hired. Hiring managers aren't looking for someone who can do the job. They're looking for someone who fits the team, the mission, the energy, and if that's you, you've already checked the most important box. Once you've read the job description line by line and you truly believe that you align with the organization, this is where you need to tailor your resume to match that job description. Like I mentioned earlier, here's the stats. A hiring manager will give your resume 6 seconds before they either move with it or they trash it. It's a hard fact, but it's the truth. With that being said, make sure that the very top of your resume grabs attention immediately. Make sure to highlight achievements and accomplishments. Avoid long paragraphs and tiny fonts. Make it very easy to scan quickly. If I or another hiring manager can't quickly tell that you are a fit for the role, then your resume is done. For example, I love when candidates use bullet points to highlight specific achievements like increase sales by 30% in 6 months rather than the vague statements like managed sales, because keep in mind, results always speak louder than words. So you have reviewed the job description and you've tailored your resume to ensure that it matches everything that is asked for in the job description. Now you need to put together a cover letter, and this is what makes you stand out from just another applicant. We're not just going to copy and paste a cover letter from one job to another job. We're actually going to tailor every single cover letter to every single job posting that we're going to apply to. This is your biggest opportunity to stand out. Tell them why you want the job in your cover letter. Show them that you understand what their company stands for and relate it back to you on a personal and professional level. Let them imagine that you are someone who can actually be on their team. Now that you have read the job description, tailored your resume, and customized your cover letter, you're ready to submit your job application. But there's something that is very crucial and often overlooked and missed by many job applicants: reading the fine instructions in the job description. And what I mean by that is sometimes a hiring manager will make a note in there like address the cover letter to so-and-so, or make sure to add this to the subject line of your email. They're not being extra, they're actually doing it with intention. The reason they do that is because they want to test your attention for detail. Believe it or not, miss a small step and your application might get tossed. It's as simple as this. If you can't follow application instructions, then how can they trust that you can follow company procedures? Here's the thing, I don't look at skills at first. Sure, you need them to do the job, but I look for the person behind the paper. Do I feel your tone? Do I feel your personality? Do I feel like you genuinely applied to the job because you felt like a connection and you aligned with it? Or is it just one of the other 100 jobs that you applied for today? Are you clear, thoughtful, and professional, or rushed and copy-pasted? I can feel that energy, and so can every hiring manager. I've spoke about the job description and the specific things that you need to be on the lookout for. I spoke about how to tailor your resume. I spoke about the cover letter and making sure that it's customized. And then I also spoke to you about what hiring managers really look for beyond your skills. Now, something very important that I need to start talking about right now are some little things that are often overlooked that help you land that dream job that you're looking for. And the first one that I'm going to touch base on is LinkedIn. Do you have a LinkedIn account? If you do not have a LinkedIn account, you need to get on it today. You're going to sign up for LinkedIn and you're going to follow the company in which you want to land your dream job in. This is your first connection point with that company. Once you've submitted your application to the company that you're looking for your dream job in, you're going to search for the HR or the hiring manager on LinkedIn. And you're going to connect with them and you're going to send them a private message. And no, this does not sound desperate. It shows that you're interested, you're thriving, you're motivated, and you are aligned with the company's mission, vision, and values. You can even send a message like this. I know that the traditional route is to wait for a call, but I'd love to introduce myself and learn more about the team. This alone sets you apart from all the other applicants. Another thing that I want to touch on that can be a breaking stone in helping you land your dream job, aside from LinkedIn, is your social media presence. Your social media can actually cost you your dream job. Whether you like it or not, it's reality. Hiring managers are pre-screening you. They're not just looking at your resume, they will look at your social media profiles. And the reason hiring managers do that is because they want to get a sense of who you are before the interview. And that doesn't mean that you cannot have social media accounts. You can absolutely have social media accounts because it shows authenticity. But just make sure that your content doesn't misrepresent you or send a wrong message. Let me tell you something that will help you understand this better. Think of social media as your digital handshake. It's your first impression before walking into an interview. You don't want to leave it up to chance. Take a moment right now, scroll through your profiles, remove anything that doesn't support your career goals and highlights the best version of you. This simple step can make all the difference between landing that interview or getting passed over. We spoke about everything prior to landing that job interview. But once you are successful and you've done everything that we spoke about and you've landed that job interview, you need to show up 100% mentally prepared. From the moment that you walk in, even the front desk is forming an opinion. Hiring managers, they ask for feedback from everyone that you interact with. Let me tell you something about why it's crucial that you are mentally present from the moment that you walk into those doors. It was a story that I heard from a hiring manager a couple years ago. She told me that she had a candidate that seemed pleasant, genuinely nice, had the skills, but there was just one thing that stopped her from hiring that candidate. And I asked her why, and she said that after the candidate left, she actually approached several people on whom the candidate interacted with, and she asked for their feedback. When asked, the receptionist gave her honest opinion about the candidate. She said, when I greeted that candidate, I did not get a response, I did not get eye contact, I did not get any acknowledgement, it was just kind of a brush off. But what the candidate did not realize is that respect was not just a buzzword at the company. It was actually one of their main core values, and it was clearly listed on the job description. At that company, they were not just hiring for skills, they were looking for someone who lived by their core values. That one moment of dismissal spoke louder than anything on that resume. And here's the truth. Your character shines through every interaction, even the smallest ones. Being kind, genuine, and respectful isn't a bonus, it's a deal breaker. If you can't show that, no matter how good you are, you will not land the job. Now here's something that I personally prioritize when hiring. I want to know about your personal goals. Yes, your personal goals. Because if you don't have clear personal goals, how can I expect that you will help me achieve my company's goals? When I'm reviewing a candidate or a resume, I ask myself, is this person going anywhere? Do they even know where they want to go? If you're just floating through work, I already know you're not aligned, and that costs both of us. So be ready for questions like this, because these are the types of questions that I or other hiring managers might ask in an interview. What are your personal goals? How will you measure them? And what's your timeline to achieve them? And don't give me vague answers like I want to grow or I want to learn. This tells me nothing. I want to hear metrics. You want to be a senior developer in 12 months? Tell me how many courses you've taken. Show me how many mentorship sessions you've lined up for. Your timeline, your Q1, your Q2, show me your plan. That's what I mean by stats and metrics. This shows me how serious you are. You've planned your success and now you're acting on it. When a candidate shares goals like this with me, I immediately think, how can I help them get there? Because they're not just applying for a job, they're applying for a journey, ready to grow and contribute. And believe me, if any hiring manager sees this level of clarity and intention, you're going to get noticed, because this type of energy is really hard to ignore. I find the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years, kind of outdated. But if you get asked, this is exactly the kind of answer that will shock and impress hiring managers. You'll leave them genuinely surprised and eager to bring you on board. Another tip, something that I look for in candidates, is to end the interview on a strong note by asking 2 to 3 sharp questions that prove that they did their research, they know the company's mission, and they're here to add value. And don't ask surface level types of questions. I want you to think strategy, growth, team goals. It really shows that you are here to align. Most of the time when the interview is completed, you'll just sit back and wait for a phone call to confirm whether you received the job or not. But I want you to take initiativity in matters into your own hands. I want you to follow up. Send a message, send an email, send something. It keeps you on the top of the radar. And even if you don't get the job, reach out in a few weeks. A lot of the time I hear people say, oh, I'm not going to land the job. Someone else probably will, and they have connections. Stop saying I don't have connections. Connections are built. They are not born. Each application is a chance to connect. Each message, each follow-up, each thank you note. Connections aren't always built before the application. They're made through the process. And here's my biggest takeaway. If you don't get the job, repeat, refine, and don't give up. Redo your resume, tweak your cover letter, try again. Let me leave you with a strong note. Wake up every day with this mindset that today might be the day that you land that job offer. Let that fuel how you show up in your resume, your outreach, and your interviews. And every step you take from what we mentioned, it stacks up, it builds your case, and it gets you hired. I tell hiring managers all the time, you're not just listing qualifications and job descriptions to fill. You're imagining the person you want sitting in front of you, doing the job brilliantly. That's the person you need to hire. Now go find them. So to anyone looking for a job right now, go be that person. Act it, feel it, as if you already landed the job and you're doing it brilliantly. How will you do that? Go show the manager. And don't forget to grab the free downloadable guide in the description. It will save you hours of guessing. Thank you for watching.